quick test of the sound, guys. Hoping everything's coming through okay. As I'm sure you know, there are a few problems with microphones, console, controllers and stuff in party mode being connected, so just trying to work through them because my game seems to be especially bad. You can just hear my phone going off in the background. I'll turn that down. Just trying to check everything. There we go. Beauty. Sounds like everything's coming through nicely. Right. Okay, lovely. That seems to be working nicely, and we have 2 people watching, or 1 person watching, because I'm one of them. Onwards we go. We are back. It's SF1. It's pre-season, I know, but we're going to get some awesome racing. We have 4 rounds, I believe, pre-season, just so that they can get game updates out and everything get flowing, but also so we can get everything in line, make sure people are in the right divisions, check out racecraft, what people are doing, who might be people to watch out for, in both ways, pace, maybe driving standards. We'll have to have a look, and just make sure that everything is right for the start of the new season, which we now have 4 divisions for, so GP1, GP2, GP3 and GP4. I think we're calling them Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 and Division 4 now, so I don't know if we've got GP anymore. I'm sure it actually says on my stream, because I had to write it out earlier. Tier 1, 2 and 3 instead of GP 1, 2 and 3. But at the moment it's K16 Ran. I'm going to go ahead and say Kieran or Kigran. We'll go with K16. K16 leading at the moment. Ross Plum 46 and second. TJ 80. I like this K16. RP46, TJ16, NRL, non-right blokey, 4th, SF1 Moley, new name, but I'm sure it's someone from previous racings. I believe they're helping out with bits and bobs here and there, but SF1 Moley, a new name, but not necessarily a new face. I may be completely wrong. Archie 5163786, definitely just got an Xbox, unless those numbers are significant, is in P6, Why has everyone got weird fucking gamer tags today? Oh, sorry, excuse my language. How dare I? I've got to remember this is SF1 and not other stuff that I do. So 21 Maxwell, P7. Phil 869, familiar face there in P8. Papash P9. Robert 22, again familiar. Your Robbie's back. Cressy Football, he'll be one to watch out for. CSC Morris. D Morrow 7. Neffers. DL and SF1 Crouchy. So a few familiar names and a few not so familiar names as we head into the final 7 minutes or 7.5 minutes of qualifying. K16 leading the way with a 1:35.05 on soft tyres. It's very close between the top 2 there, both within 100th of each other. And CSC Morris goes up there as well, P3, just a 10.5 away from those 2 as well. So it's been quite tight at the top. The top 6 all within about 0.5 of each other, so of the leaders at least, looking nice and competitive. But still 7 minutes left, so they'll be doing their first runs, putting some banker laps in, getting a reasonable pace down, but nothing too expensive. You know, you don't want to risk things too badly. I'll just get up the chat to see. Just answering a few texts there. Got a bit of fan mail, of course. I'm just going to jump on to the Twitch stream just to see all of the comments. So Robbo, all good, wonderful stuff. Thank you for letting me know. I'm assuming you're letting me know the stream's all good as opposed to anything else. But hello, Robbo7616. Nice to see you. There's Ross Plum puts in a stonker of a lap there, 1:34.8. So he's gapped K16 a little bit. TJ18, a lot of people in the pits. Neffers, DL. Let's have a look. I hope I've said that right, Neffers. If not, apologies. So 5.5 minutes remaining. So we're watching Neffers DL in the Aston Martin. Coming through the final sector now, midway through, just 4 laps, 4 corners to go. That's 1. That's a 2. Quite tricky to get the traction down this one actually. It's very easy to lose the rear as we head into the penultimate corner. And the last corner he's heading into the pits, so he's given up on that one. Let's have a look and see who's out. Your Robbie, he'll be one to watch. He's sitting in the Haas. He's not done a lap yet, but it'll be interesting to see. I think he's on a flying lap. He's on the mediums, coming round the third to last corner, second to last corner, hard on the brakes now. Turn in, take a lot of curb, run out a little bit wide. Now deep, late apex, on the throttle, try and straighten the car as soon as possible. Down the straight to 1:37.7. It's not too competitive, but remember he's on the mediums and it was his first lap, so he may have made a mistake somewhere. 4.5 minutes remaining. He should be able to get in to the pits and do another one if he wants on the softs. Robbo761, so yeah, stream all good, mate. Ready for my turn tomorrow. Yeah, mate, so am I. I can't wait to get back on track. So if you're on track tomorrow, it'll be great to see you there, see how we're all doing. Thoroughly looking forward to it. So yeah, I'm glad you've joined the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. Anyone that's watching, everyone that's watching, please do get involved in the comments. We like to see a nice community, and I like to let you guys take the mick out of some of the things I say or get carried away on, and get involved in the commentary yourselves, guys. Let us know what you're thinking. We've got 3 or 4 minutes left of qualifying. Ross Plum leading the way at the moment, and we're watching your Robbie coming round on his second lap. He is going for it by the looks of it, as he's 5/10 up on his fastest lap. That's not really going to be enough to get him too much higher than maybe 9th, I think, at the moment. He's going to look like 10th place or 11th, so I'll have a look when he comes round. I know that he was 5/10 up in the last sector. Coming round into the penultimate corner again, hard on the brakes, take a lot of curb, wide out, late apex, straighten up as soon as possible on the power. What can he do? Yellow sector 1 and 2. He pops himself up into 11th, and we have a yellow somewhere. Can't see anything particularly, so we'll gloss over that. Phil, he's on an outlap, so I think we'll stick with him. I've been practicing by driving on the M25 all week. Well, I do not envy your week. I was stuck on the M25 on that Sunday where you had 6 months of rain in London in one day, and I was stuck there and everyone's died. So yeah, do not envy you at all. Enjoy your M25. Hopefully things will be a lot faster and less jammed up tomorrow, but I can't promise anything. Meanwhile, Phil comes across the line to start a flying lap. He's put the softs on. His base time is a 1:37.294. He's got to beat a 1:34.8, so a couple seconds to find. Keep an eye on the top right of your screen. He's only half a tenth up so far. That's nowhere near enough. He's got to get a move on as he pushes the front end nicely into the apex of that hairpin on the throttle out. You got a nice wide exit actually out of the hairpin there, so you can get on the throttle quite early, which is nice to see. Just whether that translates to a spin or not is entirely up to you. Coming down into the braking zone, difficult braking zone, very easy to miss. You've got to get that turned in nice and early, otherwise you're just going to scrub out really wide, and you're going to have to go the long way round the chicane as we head onto the second DRS zone. Opens that flap right up. Sorry. Into a hard braking zone. It's not quite straight, so you have to get things perfectly right. And again, a triple chicane. Don't take too much of those curbs because you'll unsettle the car and throw yourself into the blue stripes that we don't like on the outside. Can often cause a spin. We're heading to the final sector. Fast double right into hard braking. Under the hotel. Final sector, final few corners. What can he do? I've not been looking at the split time, so I'm a little bit in the dark. I should have possibly been a bit more awake to that. Final corner, a little bit unsettled on the rear end, and he's gone 1.2 seconds faster, but ultimately it's only good enough for P11. He's going to have to find another 2 seconds, or another second, 1.2 seconds. Up to first place. So Ross Plum looking nice and comfortable. But let's have a look at these guys. Up at the top we've got K16, CSC Morris. He's going to be looking to move his way up. Moley, non-right blokey. Robert 22, he's looking to set another lap. Who do we choose? Let's look at Moley. He's following his teammate. A little bit of help there from Robert 22. He's going to get a nice pull. And is Robert going to move out the way? Crucially, because he looks a lot slower. Is Robert going to move out the way? No, it looks like his teammate is going to hold him up this time round. No, he's not. He moves out the way. Some teamwork by the two Alpine drivers for qualifying. Moley is going to be nice about that. He's going to be happy about that. Probably have a smile on his face as he's likely made up a lot of space and dropped out. Moley's gone. Moley has died. No, he's there. Okay, my remote just had a bit of a panic attack there. Nice to see you, Rhodes. Yes, he made it, and I made it as well. Moley, P7 at the moment, but he's got a massive slipstream from his teammate. Is it going to be 1.2 seconds of slipstream? No, he's not improved his time. So is anyone else going to be able to improve their time? It looks like just non-right Loki and Phil. Loki's on the mediums. Phil is on the softs, and he's coming into the pits. And Loki is just short of a 10th down on his fastest lap, and it looks like he's giving up there. That doesn't look very powerful. No, there is your grid. Oh, he's carrying on round, but I don't believe that he's going to improve there. So it's Ross Plum from CSC Morris from K16 are your top three for qualifying. Non-right Loki couldn't quite improve there. Nice and close at the top. We've got a 34.8, a 34.8, and a 35 dead. So if K16's got some nice consistent race pace, things could be looking very entertaining for this Tier 3 pre-season round 1 of 4, I believe, race. So remember, this is just to maybe cure some teething problems, get things in the right place, basically. Make sure that people have been put in the right divisions. There isn't too many OP drivers or underperforming drivers at all, because we want to make it as competitive as possible for everyone, but at the same time we want it to be really enjoyable for people. And if you're just been put in the wrong place, or if you're winning by miles every time, then it's not fun for the person that's winning by miles, or for many other people. So all of this to get things right. Ross Plum from CSC Morris, from K16, TJ18, Nefaz DL, non-right Loki, SF1 Moley, Maxwell, Archie 5163786, and Robert 22 are your top 10. Phil, your Robbie, Papas, Jake Wilson, Cressy Football, D Morrow, and someone else. I just missed it. Can I have a look back on my screen? No, it didn't show. Sorry that I missed the last person there. But yeah, looking nice and tight at the front. Really tight in the midfield as well. Although maybe a little bit slower than the others. Nice and tight there. I could possibly see a couple of those top two, possibly. Oh, my voice. Top two possibly creeping up into Tier 2 division, and then of course whoever's at the bottom of Tier 2, which I know I am, because I might have sandbagged a little. Well, I didn't sandbag it, I could only do 5 laps for each thing, because I just had no time, and before the deadline, as I only installed it one day before the deadline. But I'm sure if I need to improve, I can show them that will happen. But yeah, make sure everyone's in the right places. I'm just going to wait for players. They'll get a 5-minute break. I'm sure they'll still get their 5-minute break. Or there seems to be a timer at the top that tells us when to start. Papash, nice to see you in the comments. Hello. Look at a sexy waving person. The icon's too small, so forgive me if it's some ugly waving person, but yeah. Looks like a kinky wave of some sort. For, so, hello, Papash. Ah, okay, so yeah, no... Someone must have readied up, and there's no relaxation period at all. So, for some reason I really wanted to say fingers on the buzzers there, but this isn't a game show. So, Ross Plum, CSC Morris. Are they going to be fighting hard between each other? That's the question. I'm a bit confused because there's Moley and there's Robert. I thought that it was Robert towing Moley round earlier, but it wasn't. It was Morris towing Moley round. Or I got it completely the wrong way around. So do forgive me, there is a possibility that I've absolutely jeffed up. Well, I won't say jeffed up, that's an insult to Jeff, but yeah. So it's Morris, the leading Alpine. We saw the Alpines working together in qualifying, so already some team orders, I guess. I mean, if Morris and Moley want to be my tier 3 drivers, I'm very happy with that, so I'd be alright with that. But let's see what happens. Long formation lap because it is Abu Dhabi into the triple chicane for the warm-up lap. I will do some intense commentary, Maury Walker style or Seb style, because I'm told I get a little bit carried away, a bit like the old Walker. R.I.P. An inspiration to a lot of people, I believe. Not where I get my inspiration from, but I do get carried away a little bit sometimes, and so either just get really hyper or mess up somehow. So either way, it's entertainment, isn't it? So happy days, happy days. Just making sure that there's no external noises coming through from anywhere. We're all set up. The stream looks nice and smooth and good quality. Thumbs up in the chat if you're getting decent quality. Thumbs down if, and this is a big if, you're getting terrible quality, because I don't want thumbs down for the shrillness of my voice, alright? No jokers. Here we go, lining up for round 1 of the pre-season shenanigans. This is tier 3 or GP3, no longer the bottom tier. We have 4 tiers now, but let's see what happens as the lights come on. I can't see any lights, but I heard them, and we're off! Big defense there, as I don't know what's happening now because the game hasn't caught up. I think things are okay. Let's get to Morris because I know he's at the front. Morris under pressure now from TJ18, who's... I think it's... yes, TJ18 who's behind it. K16 managed to get ahead. Ross Plum holds the lead and has already pulled a significant gap as CSC Morris seems to be struggling a little bit off the start and now has the Mercedes behind him tight in the slipstream, looking to make a move possibly already down into the chicane, as it is Ross Plum from K16, from Morris, from TJ18, from SF1 Moley, who's made his way up into 5th place. So that's a good start from Moley. Non-right Loki's held position. And Ross Plum's dropped down. He's spun. Plum last. Oh, I really wanted that to work, but he didn't quite get overtaken in time. Damn it. Wait for it. No, he's not going to get overtaken. I can't say it. Oh, well. Yeah, Plum! He's Plum last! He's at the bottom, looking to try and pass Cressy, but it's all gone wrong. And K16 makes his way up into P1 and is hoping to pull away from CSC Morris, who had a bit of a bad start, but gotten away with that, and now has his sights set on the Aston Martin of K16 ahead of him. He does, however, have the Mercedes of TJ behind him. His teammate Moley looking to try and make a move on that Mercedes. The two Alpines clearly wanting to work together, and K16 putting in the fastest lap so far. Stick in the chat what I've missed, what you think, what you think's going to happen later on. All of the above. There's your position changes. So, confused, very confused. Okay, K16 back in the lead. K16, there's your movements on the board. 2 places for 16. Morris has held his position. TJ's moved up a place. Moley up 3. Papash from P13, I believe, there, all the way up to 7th. So that's 6 places move. Wilson, he's doing well with 5 places. D Morrow, that's 6 places up. Crouchy from the back. P12, that's 5 places as well. Let's have a look and see if the battle at the front is heating up. No, but TJ is right behind Morris. Papash and Nefaz. Papash up into 6, so that's 7 position. Papash doing brilliantly here in the Mercedes. Just trying to make sure I look through everyone so we get at least everyone with a bit of screen time, not just for them or for you guys, but for the admins to check out. Driver ability. Fastest lap, K16 for Aston Martin. Maxwell here, losing a bit of time to Nefaz in front of him for P7, but critically he's holding Jake Wilson and D Morrow behind him. How long they're going to stay behind him, I don't know, but Crouchy there in 12th. He's a fast driver. He's going to be looking to make his way through the field as soon as possible. As I say that, moves up into 11th place, takes advantage of Robert's mistake and moves right up. Ross Plum has come from 14th, and your Robbie, who was just in front of Crouchy there, has spun round again, so he's lost it twice there in a space of 2 corners, handing a lot of people a few places. But Ross Plum up into 14th. He was leading, dropped down to Plum last, and is now up into P14, so we could see him making some moves. We're only on lap 3, remember. Crouchy, P11, Jake Wilson up in 8th now. That's 6 places gained. And TJ, 18, has made his way past Morris. So Morris and Moley, 3 and 4, they're going to be looking now to work together with the DRS and try and close on those drivers ahead of him. TJ, 18, starting to lose touch with the leader as well. It's already going underneath the hotel, so that's a good second or 2 that they've pulled. Moley's falling back from Morris. But that gap now from K16 to TJ18 extending somewhat. If anyone knows what K16 ran and how that's supposed to be said, if it's supposed to be said by name, please let me know in the comments. Because until someone corrects me, I'm going to say K16. And I keep wanting to say Kieran, but 16 ran? Oh, it's K16 it is. Let's have a look down the field. Have we got any close battles? Jake Wilson is looking to try and pass Morrow. Crouchy is looking to make an advance on him as well. But Jake Wilson falling back just a little bit from Morrow. Is he going to drop out of DRS? Which could critically help Crouchy, but no such luck. A bit of a slow exit there from Jake Wilson, but he's got the DRS, and that's a move. Morrow makes the move on Maxwell for 8th position. Nicely done, cleanly done, no messing about. Now he's got to get his foot down and pull away. I think he's going to have DRS to extend it. Possibly, actually, Jake Wilson might be able to make a move now as well. No, because Maxwell got the DRS after that, so it's defensive DRS. I see it swaps over. He's going around the outside, but he goes a little bit deep and he's been tapped. There's a little bit of a tap there from Crouch. Oh, not Crouchy, sorry, from D Morrow, but I don't think Morrow could have really done anything. If anything, that was Maxwell, who just tried to go around the outside, went a little bit deep, and then tried to cut across a corner that was already taken, I'm afraid, by the Red Bull. So Morrow gets away with that, hopefully damage-free. And Jake Wilson moves up into 9th and Crouchy into 10th. Ross Plum 13th now, just in front of Maxwell. Further up the field, it's now 2.2 seconds gap from Cram? Oh my god. From K16 to TJ18, CSE Morris starting to drop back from the two leaders as well, and Moley starting to advance on his teammate and possibly be ready to make a move this time round. Are they going to swap round, try and pull away from the drivers behind, which they're being caught now by Non-Right Loki and Papash? I think Nefaz is there as well. So the group of three from 3rd to 5th about to be visited by the group of 3 from 6th to 8th. And look at that, in the space of half a lap, but the move's been made by Moley. And is there damage on the front of that Alpine for Morris? Doesn't look like it. TJ18 actually making a little bit of time up on K18, so possibly a fight there. But look at this. Morris from from Loki, from Papash to Nefaz, all so close to each other. And Morris passes Moley again. I think that's a little bit silly. I think you guys need to work together, Moley and Morris. It's very early in the race, and you should really be thinking about possibly pulling away from those guys behind. The McLaren Wilson doesn't have a helmet. Oh my goodness, he doesn't! That's brilliant! Oh, brilliant! Brilliant point out there from Rhodes. No, Jake doesn't have a helmet on at all. But as Hubbardie has pointed out, yes, it is a brilliant battle here for 3rd all the way to 8th place. Actually, Morrow now starting to close up a little bit on Nefaz. That gap soon to be under 11. Oh, look how close it is between Non-Right Loki and Papash. Nose to tail without colliding. Oh, I spoke too soon. As Papash tries to go around the outside, Loki just didn't leave the room. I don't think he saw him at all, to be honest. But, yeah, Papash just getting a little bit optimistic there to try and go around the outside of Non-Right Loki. Loki didn't see him at all, and the racing incident there. Tapped wheels and round they go just as I speak, but crucially Loki now I think in the DRS of the two Alpines who need to stop fighting and really sort themselves out, because now, as you can see, Moley's lost that. If they had just worked together for those past few laps, very good racecraft from the two drivers there not to hit each other. Morris didn't really want to concede there at all, cut straight across, but it was his corner. Non-Right Loki up into 4th place. Brilliant drive from him. And Nefaz has made his way past Moley as well. So you see, if they'd just worked together at those DRS zones and possibly let the faster driver ahead so he could just get pulled along by him, which I think is Moley at the moment, to be honest, the faster driver. And Moley's just been sucked up there by the two drivers and lost out, and now been passed by Morrow. So he's been pushed offline and forced into a few hours there. Possibly even have damage, or he's gone into the pits. He's gone into the pits there, so possible damage or just an early pit strategy. Non-Right Loki is looking to take the top step of the 3rd step of the podium now, and definitely has enough time with this sort of pace and consistency to try and make a move on the leaders of 6 seconds. Can he close up? Yes, Circa Weber, I think it was his final race, wasn't he, where he did the last the in-lap or whatever without his helmet. Or I might be wrong. Non-Right. Is he close enough? He's going for the outside. Is he close enough? But there's the Aston Martin behind as well, and Nefaz wants to go around the outside, but he can't, as the Alpine goes hard on the brakes to defend from the Aston Martin, but also to try and attack again on Loki, who seems to have got past. But it's DRS for the Alpine. Loki hard on the overtake button and defending that position. As Morris, is he going to look down the inside? No, thinks better of it. Is he going to stick with him now and try and get his faster race? He's now on the slower tyres. And yes, Hubbardie, absolutely brilliant T3 driving from all of these guys at the front. A couple of racing incidents, but they are racing incidents, exactly what they are. No bad driving or anything from anyone. Great awareness, especially from Loki and Morris earlier. Brilliant driving, and Nefaz has kept his nose clean, moved his way all the way from pretty much the back midfield. Penalty for cutting corners. I think that's Papash there. I can't quite see because my Broadcast bar is in the way, and it's side by side for the Red Bull and the Aston Martin. Nefaz just holds the position for Morrow, who's made his way past K16, who pits now. Cressy Football up into 6th, Jake Wilson into 7th, and Crouchy in 8th. K16 in the pits, but in 9th place as Robert passes for P9. Morris has now got one hell of a job as straight on and round went Di Morrow, and he's reset into the middle of the track. That's not allowed. It is pre-season, but that's not allowed, and that will go down on the record. Morrow, you can't just reset in front because you could ruin other people's races, and you spun again. Unfortunate. Rear tyres obviously boiling hot as Nefaz makes his way past Morris. So non-right Loki makes his way up to 2nd due to pit stops from K16. And Nefaz makes his way past Morris, and Morris has just lost out there. He's going to want to zip into the pits. He's got the DRS to try and keep himself with these guys, but crucially, non-right Loki has driven a spectacular race so far. He's on the harder tyres. He's made his way up into 2nd. He's only 6.5 seconds away from the leader. We're only on lap 8. 20 laps left to go. Non-right Loki looking really promising today. Morris staying in that 1 second. I'm sure he'll be pitting this lap for some new tyres. And Cressy Football's made his way up. He's past Jake Wilson. Jake Wilson in 6th. Crouchy 7th. Remember, there's been pit stops, so we'll see how things turn out after that. But that was some brilliant battling there. Now, we'll keep an eye on Morris and see where he comes out, because remember, he was fighting with the likes of Moley. Di Morrow, he has had an incident, but it was fine with Moley. K16 should be fairly close to him. Papash, I believe, was quite close as well, yeah. So it's Morris and Moley who made the better. Moley makes his way past, so the slightly faster driver, or it looked like the faster driver at the time. He's got a little bit of a leg up there on the undercut, and Morris has lost out to Papash as well. So not a big difference there, I don't think. And Ross Plum makes his way up into 11th as well, so he's on his restoration race. No, comeback road. Good comeback. I think it's comeback. I can't remember. He's on his yeah, he's on his comeback from the back. He was leading, spun. I've completely got lost in my words, but yeah, non-right Loki P2. Holding that 6.5 second gap, and Nefaz holding that 1.5 second gap as well. K16, after his pit, is now back in P4, and he is the net leader, or was the net leader. TJ may have a bit of an undercut now, but keep an eye on that. Oh, sorry, keep an eye on that gap. So this is the group that was fighting for P3. Moley, Morrow, Papash, Morris. And Crouchy coming from the back there, Robert 22 coming from the back as well, and Ross Plum after his spin coming from the back. Keep an eye on your Robbie, he had a bit of an incident, and so did Maxwell. Phil, just not performing how I thought he was going to perform this weekend, or this evening. Normally, some really decent pace as Nefaz hits the pits from P6, he's dropping down to P8 currently. I think Moley, Papash, Ross Plum and Morris might just beat him here. Or has he done a spectacular? There's Papash. Is Papash going to beat him? Papash doesn't quite get a Moley made it. Papash stuck behind Nefaz. So Nefaz has done brilliantly there. He's pretty much stuck where he was, just behind Moley. I thought he was possibly going to get a jump on Moley, but very fast. He's been looking since he left the pits, and obviously with the undercut. So Nefaz holding decent pace, 2.7 seconds away. So all the gaps sort of opened up just a little bit. We've got a bit of a battle here between Maxwell and Phil and Robbie, which looks quite exciting. We'll have a look at these guys at the back, maybe at the back, but we want to see how they race as well. It's an Alfa Romeo fighting the two Hasses. We'll never see that unless something spectacular happens somehow this season. Archie struggling as well, they're down in 17th, 28 seconds off of the rest of the pack. Maxwell on your Robbie for P15. That was very confusing. people disappeared there randomly and it just showed one car. Oh well, very confusing. But Maxwell couldn't quite get past. Tries again, he's going for the outside, hard on the braking, but Phil holds it there. Oh! That was a little bit rude there from Maxwell, who just didn't really care for what Phil was doing and turned across him anyway. That letting your Robbie through as well. So that's going to be frustrating for Phil. I think that was Phil's corner there, a little bit aggressive from Maxwell, but nothing too silly. Things starting to realign themselves now as pit stops are made. Safety car out, P11. So whoever hasn't stopped is going to be loving it. Crouchy is going to love this if he's in the right place. Where's he? So he's in a fairly good position. Let's see who's near pit entry, if anyone. Still Jake Wilson with no helmet on. No one's really anywhere near the pit. So I think Crouchy's going to do really well from this. A lot of people are going to pit. That's how you do the chicane side by side. Yeah, it was good. Not sure about initial turn-in from Maxwell. I think he possibly should have. I think he cut across a little bit hard. Didn't give Phil any room for the next corner. But again, it's very close racing. It's hard racing, so it's what we want to see. And you can't give penalties and stuff for things like that. But just a mental note for myself more than anything. But some absolutely brilliant driving from a lot of people here as we have a safety car. I am going to mute myself, just quickly grab a drink because I rushed in from a tennis match earlier, so I'm a little bit worse for wear. Let's see. So I'm going to mute what's a safety car. Thinking safety car will be in at the end of this lap, quite hopefully. A couple of cars yet to catch the back of the pack, but I don't think Archie's going to catch the back of the pack, unfortunately. I think it's a little bit too far away, unless they do one more lap after this, but we'll see. He does, however, seem to be losing time to the rest of the field. I'm going to quickly go and have a quick check on Archie, see what he's... Because he is losing time to the leaders, which is a little bit odd considering they're under safety car. Gonna move on, Archie. Put your foot down. You can catch them. 40 seconds. Go for it. Flat out, Archie. Go on. If you can hear me, go for it. Hot lap under safety car. Catch that pack. I don't think they'll do another safety car lap just for the one car. Oh, he's spun. That's not the best thing to do, bro. Try and catch it at a reasonable pace that you can maintain without driving into walls or spinning round. Preferably. Sorry, I'm rolling a cigarette. If you can hear me, smoking is bad. That's my non-advertisement. Done. Bernie says, when you drive, never drink. I've not had anything saying that the safety car's in this lap yet, but it's coming awfully close to the point where it normally says that. And it's still not quite there. Is it going to catch? Yeah, so safety car's going in this lap. So here we go. It's go, go, go from TJ18, who now holds the lead. He didn't pit when he was supposed to. He pit under safety car, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yes. Sorry, I'm just getting false information on my screen. It's TJ18 from Moley, from K16, from Non-Ripe Loki, from CSC Morris. There was a great fight earlier on between these guys. Morris, Non-Ripe Loki, Moley. But Moley's inherited P2, so he's going to be happy. K16's on the hard tyres. He stopped before the safety car, I remember. So he was assuming he was going full pelt for the rest of the race. And so has the medium, the hard tyres on. Maybe a little bit of a loss to Moley. And has Non-Ripe Loki, goes round the outside for the braking point on K16. Takes P3, moves himself onto the podium. An absolutely brilliant drive so far, I must say, from Non-Ripe Loki. Onto the podium, and K16 couldn't do anything about it. He's now got Morris behind him on the fresher tyres, on the nicer, not fresher tyres, sorry, on the nicer tyres. Actually, it looks to me like K16 pitted under safety car to put those hards on. Only one lap old, so that's told me to shut up, hasn't it? Basically. But Morris still looking to try and get K16. K16 sticking on the back of Non-Ripe Loki. K16 losing the rear end just a little bit. That's put enough of a run on Morris. Round the outside, hard on the brakes. He tried to do the undercut, but couldn't quite get there in time. Chooses to stick behind K16. He's going to have a lot of scrub and a lot of wash through here. Going to have to lift off. Down into the chicane. Can he get close enough? Oh, sectors 1 and 2. Yellow flag. I don't know what happened there. Virtual safety car. What's happened? It's Crouchy. No, no, no. Crouchy is round, and I think in the wall he was doing so well. He got himself up into P5, I believe it was, or P6. And, oh no. He's round. Let's see if we can see where Crouchy is. He's there. Oh no. He's just lost. Broke traction on that fast. On the fast S's there, and things have just gone the wrong way for him. As his safety car. Non-Ripe Loki's going to want to back off with those tyres on. So those TJ18, there is no reason at all for you guys to be going that fast using that much tyre life. I may want to keep a bit of pace up, but as far as I'm aware, it's safety car. They don't seem to be driving as if it's a safety car, so that might be That might be an error. No, I see a safety car on the mini-map. So, yeah, just going for it. Turn 3 seems to be the death of people. Yeah, very, very twitchy. You get that inside curb, you're spinning. You get the outside curb, you're spinning. You get a little bit wide onto the marbles, you might just spin. TJ18 into the pits. Moley into the pits, non-right. Loki into the pits. K16 stays out on the hard tyres. Morris into the pits. Cressy into the pits. A lot of people into the pits. Not quite as many as Hungary, but a lot of people. So unfortunate to lose Crouchy and Jake Wilson. Not connected at the moment. It's a bit of a connection issue for Jake Wilson. He stayed out. Papash stayed out on the hards as well. So K16 and Papash, things have swayed into their arms just a little bit. TJ18 is going to be looking to make some moves. Robert 22, remember, he's on soft tyres. Only 3 laps old. And he's going to be right behind K16 on the hard tyres. So if he can get a nice run on the restart. Yeah, sometimes you need to give it a little bit of a breathing room on the throttle pedal. That is indeed correct. In fact, in the race, a lot of the time, you need to lift off just that little bit to make sure that you don't spin unless you're very good or have a very good setup on. But especially when you're behind someone, you need to lift. It's got all that wash. It really doesn't go well. But thank you, OG James. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. So everyone that's watching and commenting on online, we've got Robbo, SF1 Roads, Papash, Hubbard-y, hello Hubbard-y, Roads again, OJ James, thank you. Brilliant to see you all in there. When we get to lap 22 or 23, we can start voting for your driver of the day. I do take them into consideration. But so far... I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep my mouth shut for a moment, because normally when I say my driver of the day, things go very, very badly wrong. Out of the race so far, SF1 Crouchy. We saw the latest retirement. He was doing phenomenally well from about 14th, I think, to start. Moved his way up into, I think it was 5th or 6th at the time. Doing very, very well on some very nice fresh tyres. Archie 5163.786 out, unfortunately. Couldn't quite get onto the back of the safety car queue. Ooh. Pardon me. And then crashed out. Ross Plum didn't make it either, unfortunately. I think he crashed out on the way out of the pits under the tunnel. And Nefaz also, I think the same sort of thing. Didn't make it, unfortunately. 2 of them, I think, tunnel-related pit exit issues. And Crouchy spinning out on the turn 3. Archie, I didn't see what happened with him, but he really was struggling somewhat, so we'll have to have a look at that possibly. Boring safety car laps so far. TR Sensation subscribed at tier 1. Thank you, Sensation, for subscribing. Beautiful stuff. Anyone that isn't subscribed, feel free to join us. Follow us, of course. Like everything you see. Share. Comment. Get involved, because the more you guys get involved, the more other people will see our content, and the more other people want to get involved, and the better we can make the experience for everyone else. So do get involved. Don't hesitate. Got an opinion? Write it down. That includes you, Sensation, but a shout out for you for the subscription. Thank you very much. I think safety car in this lap. Yeah, the lights look like they are off. So safety car in this lap. We are on lap 17 of 28. 11 and a half laps to go. Sorry, 10 and a half laps to go. My bad. No, it is 11 and a half. shame. Would have given these lads a race, having done well yesterday. OG James. Well, if you did that well yesterday, you may even be kicked up into this tier when the season comes. It's pre-season. We're doing these in order to make sure that everyone is in the right place and to get as close and competitive and enjoyable racing as possible for everyone involved. That's not just the drivers, that's stewards, that's admin, that's everyone. As we go green, K16 a good start, Robert 22 a good start. Couldn't do anything on K16 though with those soft tyres. That could change very quickly. Your Robbie P4, he's made his way really well back up to P4 from having a tragic start. Pretty much dropped all the way to the back, spinning round. TJ18 P5 has made his way past Wilson already. Loki is going to be looking to get straight past Wilson as well, and so is CS Morris. Phil and Maxwell fighting at the back there. Bit of a ding-dong battle. They're side by side. Let's get a better view, please, game. Give me a better view, please. Is it my fault? Yes, it's my fault. Getting angry at the game for my own problems. Oh, what's happening here? A lot of action. Off the track goes one person, off the track goes another. Maxwell, Moley make it through unscathed. And your Robbie gets passed by TJ18. Papash still in P3, and your Robert 22. He's looking to try and get past K16, and he's going to want to do it sooner rather than later with those fresher tyres. Maxwell drops to last place. Moley passes Morrow. Phil passes Jake Wilson. Wilson spun round. Something's gone wrong with Wilson. He's lost a lot of time. Maxwell spun round as well. Dean Morrow spun round. So an incident between those three, quite possibly. As Robert is now 7 tenths behind, he's going to want to get that DRS open as soon as possible, get as close as he can to K16. He's on the soft tyres, he's going to want to pass him. Turn 1. This is where you want to try and stay as close as possible. This is the scrubby corners, the high speed ones. Turn 2, 6 tenths. Turn 3, 7 tenths. Can he stay within that 1 second? 6 tenths. 7 tenths. Soon, if he can get in front, he'll have some open air and possibly be able to move away, but he's got to get it done as soon as possible. On throttle, is it enough? DRS isn't available yet because of the safety car. That sucks. Absolute. That sucks. Not really making too much inroads on K16, and I think that's going to be a nice buffer for those softs to just run out of energy. You find next lap that he will have backed off considerably. Non-right Loki makes his way past your Robert for P5 and has got his sights set on getting back onto there's your Robert as Robert 22 makes his way up into P1. Got that DRS a second time round maybe, or just a slipstream there, and actually past K16. Hopefully he's going to pull away now with the softer tyres, more grip, and of course K16 is now in the wash. Papash. TJ18 starting to fight, and there is non-right Loki as well, ready to get onto the back. Cressy Football is out. Cressy Football is in the wall. Looks like he's gone for a goal there, but he's missed. Beautiful. Unfortunately, Cressy Football, the 5th retirement of the day, and there's not much that could have been done for his nose cone. Another safety car. Robert 22's got to be thinking, do I stay out? Do I come in? They're going to get to do another lap now as well. Have you just seen? They've overtaken the safety car. The safety car didn't quite make it out in front of them. So they're going to get a whole nother lap at decent speed with all that gap to the people behind. I'm just trying to make sense of what you've said, Hubbardie. I don't understand what you mean. A cluster below 40 and a cluster on 40. Sorry, I got a bit confused there. Robert, unless you're pitting, don't take any life out your tyres. That would be less than ideal. I think now with this sixth, I think there's a sixth safety car. 6 and 2 races, so I think that's the 4th safety car. How many? If there was 2 yesterday, then yes, it'd be 6. If there was more than 2, then no. This is the 4th safety car of this race, I believe. 3rd. No, it's the 3rd. People just too aggressive. Possibly, yeah, the people at the back. I think so far we've seen some really good racing, actually. Stuff like that possibly to be expected. I think some of it may well be the game. We know that it's not quite working properly yet. Robert stays out. All that space behind CS Morris and Papash and all that. Well, they've gone into the pits, yeah. All that space. Robert could have put on a new set of softs or mediums and just popped in. Would have been able to come out in 4th. 5th. And possibly done something really good there. But non-ripe Loki is going to be looking very dangerous now. He's put on the softs. Moley's put on softs. Papash has put on softs. But is Moley going to pass? No. Doesn't quite get past non-ripe Loki. This could go very, very badly. This restart could be a mess. Yeah, turn 2 really is causing a lot. I don't think people have been overly aggressive, to be honest. There's been spots of aggression, but I think overall, I've got to admit, been some really, really good racing between the midfield, and we've seen some of the guys at the back as well. The 2 Haas's having a go. Phil, they've all been fairly decent as well. So yeah, I think it's more been people just acclimatising to the game. You've got to remember we were playing 2020 for a year and a bit. We'd got fairly acclimatised to it, so we knew exactly how to drive. And with these, I think we're still adapting. I certainly am. I still make mistakes that shouldn't be made or that wouldn't be made on the other game. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. In general, all your aggressiveness comes in general. It's not always by the wheel to wheel, but I don't necessarily think it is them being too aggressive. I think it's just it is a different way, style of driving that you need for these. They're, in my opinion, way more realistic as to how a car would act, especially across curbs, things like that. Of course, you're going to get the odd ones that are a little bit too aggressive and spin you out randomly, and you're going to get some nuances that aren't quite right. But ultimately, the physics engine is far better. The game feels a lot better and gives you a lot more information and feel. But people just aren't quite on top of things yet. But yeah, you got to be aggressive, otherwise you're not going to find the limit. If you don't find the limit, you're never going to find the pace, are you? So that's what pre-season's for. Find out what you can do, figure out what you can do, and that way we've got less problems, less issues, and better racing in the main event. Great to see you involved, Sensation, James, Hubbardee, Rhodes and Robbo. Thanks for joining in the chat. Actually, on my Lucky 13 channel, when I used to do commentary for Rock Valley and CSCC and the Tin Tops, I used to have a little Wheel of Fortune thing, so everyone that commented even once in the comments, by the end of the thing you'd have about, well, it depends which stream I was in. If it was Rock Valley, you'd have between 100 and 1,000 names. If it was 500 and 1,000, sorry, if it was another one, it would be between 20 and 100, but you just put them all into one ballot thing, and you can do it quite easily. Make this little application, you spin the wheel, and then one little slither of a chance that they get a prize. But I found that if on the bigger streams, when you do things like you say, just get involved in the comments if you want to win a prize, and you think that it's going to promote good conversation, but really it's just everyone being absolute arses in the comments. It gets your figures up, but it makes things really difficult to concentrate on. So I'm kind of glad there's only between 10 and 30 people that watch these at a time. Safety cars in. Keep your eye on non-ripe Loki. He's going to do well. Robert 22 on super old hard softs is looking to pull away. I've got the wrong wide. That's why I keep accidentally pressing that button. Here we go. Restart. Robert leads the way. K16, P2, TJ18, P3, but non-ripe Loki, Moley and Papash all on those soft tyres, nice and sticky and nice and new as well. Some nice sticky rubber on them. Clear my throat there. Packs on fresh softs though. If he does it, fair play to him, definitely. Pardon me, sorry. If K16 can stick with Robert and then pass him before non-ripe Loki gets past TJ, he could be on for a good defensive 5 laps quite easily. He's a very fast driver, all that we've seen. He's got some pace, even on those hards, 10 lap old hards as well. But crucially, TJ is looking to try and pass K16 already, and non-ripe Loki's there. Moley's, oh, and round goes K16. He's overdone it. He's lit up the rear wheels and put himself round, and that's dropped him all the way down to almost plumb last again. I'm not going to say plumb last because that's reserved for Ross Plum, but he's just lit up the rear end, and that's put him round. And Robert 22 still leads. TJ 18 up into second. Non-ripe Loki back on the podium. He could be looking at a win here. Moley P4, Papash P5, Morrow P6, Maxwell, Jake Wilson, K16 down in 9th. 10th, your Robbie. Only 10 runners remaining, 7 retired. Here's Robert down into turn 1. Up the hill into the dangerous turns 2 and 3. Don't touch that inside curb, but look behind him. There's TJ. He is within DRS. I don't think we're going to get DRS this time round. I can't remember how DRS works under safety car, but I don't think we're going to get it. Morris spun his car and killed Phil. Yeah, that sounds about right. My stream is frozen. I hope yours hasn't. I don't know what DR means, James. Sorry. Non-ripe Loki's got Moley right all over the back of him, so they're all looking to try and get past Robert now. Is it going to happen this time round? TJ looking. Is he close enough? Is he going to make the move down the inside? He had a look to pop out. But he didn't quite do it. That keeps non-ripe Loki within the win. With a win in this sight still. He's got to try and stick on the back of TJ because TJ could pass. All Robert needs to do is defend hard enough for a lap or two, and TJ's going to have the gap that he needs. So Loki and Moley could be on for the win. Papash is there as well. TJ, Robert, all he's got to do is hold on. DRS is 3 laps. He is 3 laps after the restart as well. Just checking. Williams making himself 3 cars wide. And is that a look down the inside from Loki? Not quite close enough. Sector 3, yellow flag. K16 is out of the race. He's DNF'd. This is non-ripe Loki. So from first all the way down to Morrow now, who's within the 1 second gap as well. This is a fight for first place. Loki's so close. He's looking. Is he going to try and outbrake him? No. Thinks better of it. Sticks to the safe mode. All over the back of TJ 18 now, who's all over the back of Robert. Moley's there as well. They're so close. Now, who's going to have the better top end? Who's got the better aero package on this weekend? DRS open already, so it's not 3 laps, I'm afraid. Maybe it's just 1 lap. I don't think that's been 3 laps. But past goes TJ. Past goes Loki. He's followed him through. Is he going to look down the inside? No, he thinks better of it again. And Robert's gone back up the inside of Loki. They're side by side on the exit. The Williams really defending. And now has the Alpine down the inside. With the Mercedes behind. This is madness. 3 wide, almost 4 wide. into turn 7. The triple chicane we have coming up next, and Loki has got his eyes on the back of that Mercedes. He wants this win. Robert has just faded that little bit too much on those old tyres, and this is fantastic. Papash passes Moley for P4. He could be looking at a podium as well. And there's Maxwell pretty close to the back of them as well in the Haas. This is fantastic, fantastic racing in the final closing stages of the pre-season race for Tier 3. Loki looking for a win here. TJ looking for a win. Papash looking for a win. Robert looking for just to stay on the podium right now on 12 like old softs is frankly incredible. We'll get back to the fight at the front soon, but first, eyes on Robert as he defends from Papash. Papash has the Red Bull of Di Moro all over the back of him as well now, so Moley's been passed. Moley's out. Moley's put it round. Robbie passes Moley as he sticks it in the wall again. That was turn 1 this time, so not even the super fast sweepers there. It was turn 1 for Moley. In the wall, 8 drivers remaining, less than half of the grid left. It's TJ, it's Loki, it's Robert 22, it's Papash, Morrow, Jake Wilson, your Robbie, and Maxwell. Papash takes Robert down the inside. Morrow just takes advantage of a slow entry. Oh, just a little bit of a tap there. No one's fault at all there, I don't think. Robert just tried to squeeze into a corner that was already closed, I'm afraid. And non-ripe Loki, I've missed it, but non-ripe Loki has taken first position. I'm sure he did it on the second DRS zone, because I know on the first he was still in second. But TJ gets passed by non-ripe Loki. Sorry I didn't get to show you guys that on the screen. But, oh, brilliant driving. It's still on. TJ's still within a second. If he can stay within a second for just 2 more corners, he could get right onto the back of Loki again down that main straight. Oh, it's not 2 more corners, is it? He's got about 5, 6 more corners. But there's Papash, crucially, right behind as well. And he's on the softs. So if he's got a little bit more pace than Loki, he could do something as well. He's only 7 tenths now. It's Loki from TJ from Papash. Morrow in 4th. He's looking to try and get within the 1 second, but 2.7 is the gap now from him. Looks like it's these 3 with 2 laps remaining. TJ is in the slipstream still. DRS, he's got the 2 Mercedes behind him with DRS. He's getting vulnerable from 2 cars now. I hope he's got his overtake wide open, because this could be a bit nip and tuck as we reach the end of the straight. It's not enough from the Mercedes car. Not close enough, but he has a second chance. 2 DRS zones here, one after the other. Chicane splits them. DRS opens up once again. Can he make the move this time? It looks like the gap is just a little bit too big as Papash gets a great run, and it's side by side for the 2 Mercedes into the braking zone from triple chicane. Are they going to hang it out 2 by 2? No, thinks better off it on the... Oh, it was Papash that pulled out there. TJ actually held on, and Papash pulled out on the faster tyres. Interesting enough. So some great driving from TJ18 and Papash, showing what they really could do. Back-to-back wins. I'm confused. Sorry. I assume a Mercedes won yesterday. Non-ripe Loki, 8 tenths the gap, but it's not quite enough yet. I could have sworn I just saw non-ripe Loki's flap open there. Is that just me? Papash. Still no way past TJ18. TJ's just dropped out of DRS. This could be crucial. He's just back inside DRS now. Is he in or is he out? He's in. Looks like he's in. I don't know. Only time will tell. I think he's in, just about in DRS, but Papash is going to get a good run out of the hairpin. Open up that DRS. Is there DRS for both Mercedes? Yes, but they're not close enough to get Loki. Papash needs to be brave. Needs to be brave. Needs to be brave. Round the outside. A little bit of a lock-up from TJ. Oh, beautiful driving from the 2 Mercedes. Brilliant, brilliant driving. Absolutely lovely. Papash makes his way into P2. It's not quite over yet as they head into the triple chicane. Loki looks fairly safe, but Papash is very fast and already onto the back of Loki. This could be a pass into the final 2 laps as we're in the final lap. It's Papash on Loki. TJ did what he could, but ultimately didn't quite have the rubber on his tyres. And Papash now within half a second of non-ripe Loki in first place with just 3 corners left to go. 4 corners, sorry. Now 3 corners. Underneath. Here we go. So close. Non-ripe Loki comes into the second to last corner. Into the final corner. No lunge being made there by Papash. And it's around the final corner and across the line for Loki. Followed by Papash. Followed by... Oh, TJ takes them both on penalties. Oh, distraught. I didn't even see the penalty signs next to them. I got so worked up. But TJ's taken it and Loki is going to be furious with that. Papash couldn't quite get it done either. TJ ultimately knew what he had to fight for and what he didn't have to fight for. Morrow, P4. Wilson, P5. Your Robbie, P6. Robert, 22, P7. Maxwell takes up P8, but your top 3 is TJ, Loki and Papash. Some brilliant driving from the start of the race through to the end of the race from not just a select few drivers but from everyone. We've had a lot of dropouts today. We know that people are struggling with the game. We know that people aren't quite getting the nuances of it, and we know there are some issues, so just be understanding of that. Now, I don't know if I'm doing podium interviews. Did they do podium interviews yesterday? I'm sure OG James will let me know. D-Morrow driver of the day? I disagree. D-Morrow did brilliantly. But I think I'm going to go with Loki. Loki did a fantastic job, come from the back there and stuck it on the podium from middle of the pack, really. Solid race. Some brilliant drives from various other drivers as well. Some unfortunate drives from other drivers. But as a lot of people are now dropping off, I am assuming that we're not doing podium interviews. If anyone in the chat, let me know if podium interviews are due or not. Did they do them yesterday? If they are, I'll jump straight in and grab them in. But I need to know ASAP. So if you do know, do let me know. I'll give you 2 minutes. In case, please wait. Yada 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 yada. I think people have left the stream now anyway, so no one's typing, no one's saying anything. So I think we're gonna leave it there unless I get someone pop up and say something. Let's see. Recently played with. Let's invite them in anyway. TJ. And Papash. I'm used to doing them, so I may as well do them just in case. We'll see. If they join, they join. If they don't join, they don't join. D-Morrow left. Roberts left. There we go, back into the lobby. So, we'll just see, we'll wait a couple more minutes just in case they do want to join or don't want to join. I have invited them. Oh, we've got one of them's joined in, so possibly, we'll see. I have sent them all an invite. Hello mate, you're right. It's just you that's decided to join us, you know? So, well, it's not really massively necessary, it's pre-season, but do include your audio in case it isn't, and we'll get a word from you, because you got my drive of the day. You did do a brilliant job as well, and it looked like a fantastic race, so just make sure your audio is included, and yeah, we'll go from there. Beautiful stuff. So, pre-season, not really testing, the pre-season season, I believe it's 3 or 4 races. You've started in Tier 3. Do you feel comfortable? Your racing was brilliant. Some absolutely fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing from the top gate all the way through the field. Actually, it was some really good stuff. Everyone was relatively clean. A little bit of argy-bargy and a bit of aggression here and there, but tell us about it from your perspective, and yeah, how you feeling for the real thing?
Yeah, was interesting. I had a race yesterday in 54. The qualifying wasn't that good for me. Made some mistakes, and yeah, that's why P6. So, what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, had pedals a bit rough around the edges, sometimes the others, but that's normal. It's the start of the game, so yeah, that happens. No problem at all. Yeah, and I would have wanted. I got pushed off track by I think a Haas or Williams. Not sure.
Is that
got the
penalty? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
unfortunate,
but happens.
Yeah, I didn't even realise. I was getting so involved in the battle and the fight. I was getting a little bit carried away, and then you cross the line. I was shouting and wailing, and then I went, oh no, they got penalties. Don't worry about it. And then TJ took the win, unfortunately. But that's some brilliant scrapping, mate. And you did so well. We were watching you and I think it was he spun out Crouchy or someone for a few times because you were coming up from sort of the midfield to see how everyone was working through. And every time we jumped to either you or Crouchy, and I think it was Pete Plum when he was at the Ross Plum when he was at the back. The racing looked brilliant, and everyone looked like they were being respectful and enjoying themselves. So yeah, if this is
I think
the first
tried,
time out for
but it's just the start of the season, so it's some wheel banging, so no
exactly.
problem
There's a few
there.
teething problems. People aren't as used to it as the 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Game, but, congratulations on P2, mate. It's a pity you didn't get the win, but
oh well. The only thing that really needs to be fixed is the
races
safety cars. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I haven't experienced one yet.
Yesterday we had 3 safety cars and 3 VSCs. Today 3 safety cars and 2 VSCs or 1. It's ridiculous.
Two VSCs, yeah. So 6 in 2 days isn't great. We might have to turn that down.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. But yeah, well, we'll see how I do next week. I don't know if you're doing any more of the other races throughout other leagues, but enjoy yourself until then. Hopefully we'll see you, and good luck. Hopefully you can get a win next time. And
we'll see.
Thanks for joining us. Well done, mate. Good job. So to everyone else that's been watching, thank you for watching. We know it's only pre-season, but we wanted to give you guys a good show, and a good show we definitely have. We've seen some phenomenal racing. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow for the Tier 2, where I'll be driving along with James and some other people, and then Tier 1 on Sunday night as well. I believe there's F2 and some performance stuff coming along, so we'll see that later on when the season starts. But for now, it's good night, good morning, good noon, wherever you are. Have a good one. Thank you very much, guys.